Hey, it's Timothy also with 9533 Training Consulting, and we're going to talk about reloading. You know, one of the things that we need to make sure we understand is that we've got admin reload, combat reload. Admin reload is you know, you're at the range, admin reload. Or you have engaged an assailant, take those off for a second. You've engaged an assailant and you are topping off magazines. You know, you know that you've got fresh magazines, you're reloading, you're moving rounds around so that you know that where your good magazines are. I go from inside out. So if I have an empty slot and I've used the magazine, I put it back into that slot, but I reverse it. If I know that it's got, you know, partial in there, I'd engage a little bit. I don't know what this total number is. I just turn around, put it backwards. I leave all my freshers forward so I know what I'm dealing with and what I'm going into. And if I have to pull this one, I know I've got a limited number of rounds in there. So one thing that we have there is, you know, understand that if you have to reload, and it's a combat reload, which means that you are going bang, 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 you get a click, and that's an oh shit moment is what it is. You need to look down on the ground, and what you see down on the ground, whatever you see there, that's where you're going to die. When you look down, just say, this is where put my tombstone right there. That's where you're going to die. It's called the fatal foot on fire. That is the X. You want to get your ass off the X. You need to move, okay? So you're engaging, bang, bang, bang. You need to step off the X and reload. The X could come off the X and put you behind cover. Put you behind concealment. Not as good, but get you a lateral line of sight. What's the difference between cover and concealment? Cover will stop a bullet. Concealment is just you hidden. If I was to stand behind a target, I'm concealed, right? You can't see me, but it won't stop a bullet. If I get behind a brick cinder block wall that is about a foot thick, not hollow, solid, will that stop a bullet? More than likely it will, okay? So, let's go ahead and do our failure drills. Now, this is just standard failure drills. Our response is going to be tap, rack, bang. What do you mean by rack? We mean by pull it slide back to the rear. It'll go back just a fraction of an inch and let it go. That extra bit of travel is what the gun was made to do. When a gun recoils, it goes all the way to the rear. It doesn't go partly to the rear. Now, there are two things I can do, right? I can come out, I can engage my target. Oh, there's a prime example. Now, I've got a failure to fire. What do? Tap, off the X, whack. There goes my dummy round. Fire, right? So, what we need to do is make sure we are moving, all right? So I have no target up because it doesn't really matter, just a backstop. I'm gonna actually shoot into the sand, not to damage the backstop because it doesn't need it. And we're gonna go through those drills. So, on target, boom, ready to fire, boom. That did not fire. Now I know I've got a slide lock to the rear. With a slide lock to a rear, that means I've either got a casualty, malfunction, or I'm out of rounds, which I'm out of rounds. So, I see the slide lock to the rear, there's a visual indication to me. I drop the magazine as I move. Pull my fresh magazine out. My finger is indexed along the front of the magazine. I go square to square. Here's the back of the magazine well, here's the back of the magazine. They're both square. I can line those up. I'm not looking at it. Line them up, push it, palm flat, all the way in. As it is all the way in, I'm gonna go and rotate my hand around the top, grab the top of the slide, and you'll watch it move back. Just a little bit. Let it go forward on its own. You are not to ride it forward. It's not your job to make the slide do its job. There's two springs in there that are interwound together. That's their job. Let them do it. Come back on target, engage. Boom. Now, slide is not locked to the rear. There is no slide lock to the rear, which means I've got some sort of bad ammunition or a faulty or some sort of casualty. Boom. Tap. Rack. Engage. Slide lock to the rear, which means I'm out of ammunition. Drop the magazine. Move my feet. New magazine in. Come over the top. Engage. Slide lock to not go. Slide to not lock to the rear. Tap. Rack. Engage. Slide lock to the rear, which means I'm probably out of ammunition. I take a look. No ammunition. Drop the magazine. Oh, that was my partial, so it is backwards. Engage. Slide to not lock to the rear. Tap. Rack. Now I am out. I am really, really out. Now, what's one thing I can do? Now, if I'm still engaging a threat, what can I do? besides run away? No. Drop the slide. By dropping that slide, is there any way to tell whether or not this firearm is loaded? No, there's no visual indication on there. There's nothing that's telling me what it is that it's doing. By locking it back into battery, I can potentially bluff my way from an assailant attacking me. Now, let's just say that doesn't work and now they're charging me. What could I do? Well, I've got a real nice, about 3-pound blunt object right here. And I can go ahead and take this. Weapon is clear. There's nothing in it. I can take this and I can beat the hell out of them with it. Which is theoretically what I can do. It's a blunt weapon. Use it. Do not give up in a gunfight. You give up, you're dead. It's that simple. If you give up, you're dead. Fight until you cannot fight anymore. Anything you around you is a weapon. Empty gun, that's not a weapon. If I were to take one of these magazines and bang you in the head with it in your temple, do you think you're gonna feel that? I think you would. Magazines lined with metal, that's what keeps its form. It's not completely plastic. That's gonna hurt a lot. You might be able to stop your assailant. Give yourself some time to get away if you need to. Think about that. As always, on time, on target, never quit. Booyah.